What's up, guys? Welcome to this episode of Chewin the Rag. It is the Father's Day episode, I guess, even though we are past Father's Day. This is the Thursday after Father's Day. Hopefully, everybody enjoyed their holiday. Uh, for me, Father's Day is one of those things where it's like, I get it. It's a show appreciation of dads. I do a decent amount of celebrating my wife on Mother's Day. It's also her birthday month. It's also our anniversary month. So it's kind of just one big celebration for her. But like for me, I don't need it. I like my wife got me this Apple Watch. My son got me a gift that he made at school. She got me other things as well. Like, and I appreciate it, obviously, but I just same thing with birthdays. I go all out for other people's birthdays. Just don't need it for me. Because I just feel like I feel personally, and this might be like a hot take for people. I understand people want to feel appreciated, and obviously it's nice to feel appreciated, but it's not something I like yearn for. But I just feel like celebrations for me personally. This isn't for other people. Like I said, I do a pretty good job at celebrating other people. I enjoy celebrating other people, but for me personally, like a birthday isn't really. I didn't do anything. I just lived another year. You know what I mean? Like I feel like you should celebrate accomplishments. So that's always how I felt. But it was still nice. I would never, tell my son like, "Oh, don't do that. Dad doesn't want that. Don't give me a gift." Like it's nice. I thank you for my gift. I appreciate it. I meant to bring it up here. Next episode you'll probably see it on the wall here behind me on my wall of random things. We got the Dubby hat, the old dirty bastard. Shout out to Lenny. The little monster man. Shout out to Lenny. And the Boricua flag. Shout out to Puerto Rico. I don't know. But yeah, I don't really know what we're gonna talk about. We got Conor McGregor pulled out yet of like what are we doing? He pulled out yet again. It's McGregor, and people are surprised by it. They're like Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler said this. He goes, "Times we've pulled out of fights. Michael Chandler 0, Conor McGregor 0," and it's like, okay, that was Conor McGregor before Roadhouse and Roid Head and cocaine and party. Not before partying and cocaine actually, but definitely an enhanced amount of cocaine and partying. Like I really I didn't get excited for this fight. I don't like McGregor anyway, but the idea of the fight I didn't even care for. I really hope these fans, it's like 100 degrees literally in this room. I have a couple fans on me. That's it. You can see my flag waving, but it's just hot in here. I really hope it's not picking up noise. It usually does a pretty good job. If it does, well, you won't know because I'll delete the whole fucking episode. But yeah, I really didn't think McGregor was gonna fight, and sure enough, he's not. And we get Alex Pineda and Jiri there. We get another one of those matchups. Which does that look any different to me? I don't know. I really don't know. Is it Yuri or Jiri? I say Yuri, and then I feel like it's wrong, even though I feel like I think it's wrong, even though I feel like it's right. So I just say Jiri. I don't think it matters. The fake samurai, whatever the fuck. People, he's a real samurai. All right, dude, settle down. He's very awkward. I think Alex is gonna knock him out again. I don't know. That guy always has his chin low or his hands low, chin high, walks straight forward, very robotic. It's meant to be like this awkward thing, but for somebody like Alex, he's gonna pick that apart. So whatever. But I don't really want to talk about sports too much. I know I'm bouncing around. We opened up with Father's Day, went right into UFC. That's welcome to Chewing the Rag. If you're new here, we bounce all over the place. If you're familiar, you know what it is. um, I wanted to do this a while ago. I did it with Dangerously Average Dudes. If you've been around since those days, you OG, you know what's up. But I follow an Apex streamer. His name's Mars Made. Mars Made Tattoos. You may have seen him on tattoo shows. I think he was on like Black Ink. He was on Practical Jokers actually for I think they did like a military base episode or something. And he's an Apex streamer, military vet, really nice guy, good guy, family man. Mars made MARZ made tattoos on all social medias, and he's also known as the real life Newcastle. If you're familiar with Apex, I'll try to put a picture up here if I remember to do this during editing. Here's Newcastle. Here's him. He's a real life Newcastle. That's all, folks. Castle. Um, but we talked about because while he was streaming one day, his kids were in the room. Familiar to Theo will pop in occasionally. I'll do an episode and he'll have a little cameo, familiar to something like that, or similar to something like that, rather. And people will ask like fatherhood questions and for advice, like, oh, I'm a new parent because we're all just in the same stream. And I was like, maybe one day I'll do like a fatherhood, what I've picked up so far in 4 years. I'm not the end all be all. I probably will give you bad advice, or I won't really give advice, just more of my experiences. But with it being the Thursday after Father's Day, I just shook the whole room. Fucking earthquake, magnitude 7. We're all gonna die. But with it just passing, why not? You know, and people were like, "Oh, that's a really good idea. I'd listen to that, listen to that." So we'll put this out. Hopefully, those people check it out. If not, it's all good. It'll be a fun little topic anyway. Change it up a little bit. We rant, we ramble. Let's have a fucking real discussion for once. I I don't know. I have a son. I've mentioned him by name already. He's 4 years old. We actually just got back from his T-ball closing ceremony. He got his little medal and whatnot, so that was fun. A million degrees out there. They did a good job at getting us in and out of there because I didn't want to deal with that. I work in a warehouse. I'm sweating from 7 a.m. to now. I haven't stopped sweating all day, even with the shower in between. So I didn't want to deal with it. I know the kids didn't want to deal with it. They did a good job. It was like under a half hour. Everybody got their medal. Each kid got recognition and get the hell out of there. So good on you guys for that. But yeah, a lot of people, everybody asks the same basic question, like, "Oh, I'll be a new dad. Do you have any advice? I'm having a son. Do you have any advice?" And it's like, not really. Straight up, flat out, not really. Because anything I tell you, everybody told me everything they possibly could, and then I have a son that has what, 7 of the major fucking 8 food allergies. So it's like right away, everything that I knew out the window. We got a whole new thing to deal with. So I don't really have advice. The biggest piece of advice is focus. Obviously, you want to be a dad. You want to be a good dad. You want to be a present dad. You want to be a good mom, present mom, good parent, present parent, whatever, however you want to refer to yourself. But you can't lose like your own thing. Like obviously, I'm Theo's dad before I'm anything else. I'm Theo's dad before I'm my wife's husband. I'm Theo's dad before I am this warehouse laborer. Like I'm a dad. That's what I have to be. Theo's dad. If it was, throw all this equipment away, get rid of it for Theo, I have to do it. Sure, toss it. I'll throw it out that fucking window right now in the middle of this episode. But at the same time, you have to understand, like, you're also still a person. I'm not somebody in therapy or anything. So I need, you just have to have some sort of outlet. Uh, I try to do a good job. I have to do a better job. I do. Uh, you want to give your significant other time, even if it's like 45 minutes to themselves, just do something. I have to do better at that. And she does the same for me. I'm up here. She makes sure I have this. I was doing stand-up comedy for those that don't know me. I did stand-up comedy. And I'm not gonna sit here and act like I was in the trenches. I was in deep. I was like a year in before he was born. And this came about because I that was something that, like, I've tried MMA, I've tried being in a band, I've tried graffiti, if that counts as anything. You try things and they don't always work out. Comedy felt like the one thing, because I've always been like the funny guy. I'm not trying to, toot my own horn or anything, but like there's just I always got I found pleasure in making people laugh. So comedy was the one thing where it felt like, oh, you were hitting something that like you were good at. And I still want to be able to, obviously I don't have the real life laughs or anything in person here right now, but I still wanted to be able to have something. So that's what this is. And my wife is a fucking saint and deals with me doing this. And hey, I need to set aside fucking 2 hours to record, edit, because I'm up here by myself. It's a solo operation. I talked about this on Twitter with somebody who will be a guest actually very soon. I'm excited for that. But it was like talking about when I schedule a guest, like I can't afford to be late because that's a reputation thing right there. There's no producer to blame. There's nobody to blame. Like if I say we're recording at 7:45, at 7:30, I need to be up here booting everything up, getting ready so that when you log on, I don't care if you're 5 minutes late, you're logging on, you're seeing my face like, hey, we're ready to do this thing. Or especially if it's in person, but we're not doing in-person guests for a little bit you can see like the dust on the floor here while we renovate all this shit. Besides the watch along, that's the exception. I'll spruce this up a little bit. We'll have Alex is supposed to be here. Hopefully, it depends on work. He starts a new job soon. But if not him, somebody else. We'll have 2 of us doing Cage Wars. watch along July 19th. So be on the lookout for that. But my point is obviously be a parent first, but never forget to like set time for yourself. Plus, it'll make you a better parent. Um, I think now that my son's 4 years old, I I think that's going to be my focus in like this next stage here is making sure my wife gets adequate time to be my wife. Not in that sense, but be herself, Um, like do her own thing. Give her 45 minutes to an hour to fucking read a book if she wants. I don't give a fuck. Whatever you want to do. You want to work out, do something. If she wants that, if she wants that time, I need to make sure she gets that time because it's gonna make us better parents. Um, Terrible twos for me weren't that terrible. It's when you really start like really getting deep into potty training. He didn't love potty training. But once he learned he was fine. 3 and 4 are definitely four is the toughest. Four is when he's around other kids the most with sports, school. He's getting a mix of their personalities, the personality that you molded at home. He's trying to see what he can get away with. He understands like, oh, this frustrates dad. Let me go fucking do that. And it's like, you little motherfucker. But you know, that it's definitely been the toughest age, but in my opinion, it's also kind of the most fun age because I can bring my son on a boat. Like we're gonna go on a boat. I don't even fucking really like boats to be honest. Like I don't like big bodies of water like that. But it's a lake. It's a fucking who gives a fuck. But like cruises and shit, different thing. But like we'll go on a boat. You want to try a boat? Let's try a fucking boat. He likes fishing now. He caught a bunch of fish like 2 weekends ago. He really enjoyed that. So it's like now I can teach him to cast, teach him to reel. So while it is the most frustrating age, absolutely, I'm not going to lie to you so far. Obviously, he's only 4. It's also probably my favorite age so far because he's in that ramble stage. Excuse me, what the fuck? He's in the stage where he's like rambling a bit. He's learning. You see him kind of develop into his own person. He says things that you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, he bros me sometimes. Don't fucking call me bro, dude. I'll fucking knock you out. But it's really fun. It is really fun. And I think it'll get easier as he gets into like, because right now, yes, he's in like school, but it's littler kid. Like it's only a few hours a day. As he gets into a full day worth of school, full day with other kids, he was born in 2019, right before the pandemic. Everybody was like locked up and shit. So I don't think he's socially behind by any means. The kid can hold a conversation with anybody. He loves doing it. But I do think that those kids were deprived a little bit of like being social with other kids. Like he was with adults for his first 2 years, really. Guys, we are going to take a quick break from this episode of Chewin' the Rag to talk to you about Dubby. What is Dubby? Dubby is a jitter-free clean energy company. They carry shakers, they carry energy powder, they carry rehydration drinks, gym bags. That hat back there is actually from Dubby. I got a keyboard, like a mouse pad right here from Dubby. Great company, great quality. I'm somebody that, midday, I want to grab an energy drink while I'm driving around. Before work, have my coffee. After work, before recording, for example, let's caffeinate somehow. Dubby negates that. I swear, I have one shaker of Dubby a day is all I need to keep going. And right now, they're offering 20% off. That's 10% off more than what they used to. 20% off if you go to dubby.gg and use promo code CHEWIN at checkout. That's w.gg and use promo code CHEWIN at checkout. While you are out there browsing the web, taking a look around, be sure to go to chewintherag.com. We have new merch up, t-shirts, tank tops, hats. We got a bunch of like warm weather stuff out there. We've got a whole new different line of stuff from what we used to have. And also on that website, you can find the Discord. You can find all the social medias, where you can find you in the rag, the email to ask questions. The Discord right now is a lot of fun. We're constantly in there just playing games. We've got the Ask the Pod tab where you can ask questions, interact with everybody. We're trying to get that going. So chewintherag.com for merch, social medias, and everything else regarding Chewin' the Rag. Sticker mule. Guys, if you are familiar with this podcast, if you are familiar with me, I like artwork. I like graffiti. I like sticker bombing things. I like skateboard culture. I have custom package bags with my brand on it, with Chewin the Rag rather on it, stickers with Chewin the Rag on it. I get compliments on those stickers, on those bags. People ask me where I get them. I'll tell you right now, Sticker Mule. Sticker Mule provides me with stickers, labels, bags, t-shirts now. They literally offer everything. They are a local company to where I am. And right now, using the code in this description of this episode, you can save, I believe it's $10 on your first order by signing up. So if you go to Sticker Mule, go right to the description of this episode, click on the link for Sticker Mule. It'll bring you to a sign up screen and save $10 on your next order with Sticker Mule. Stickers, bags, merch, literally everything. Fast. They send you mock-ups. They send you everything you need to ensure that you're getting a quality product, and they are with you every step of the way. So go to the link in the description, go to Sticker Mule, sign up, save yourself some money today. If you are enjoying the pod show, please be sure to like, rate, subscribe, and share on whatever platform you are listening on. Kind of helps just pick up the pace for us, the algorithm, all that fun, boring stuff that nobody wants to hear about. So if you're enjoying it, please be sure to do that. And thank you again for listening to Chewin the Rag. So he has kind of an adult way of thinking and approaching things where I need him to stay with these kids and like get a creative, young way of thinking of things. And I think he's doing a good job at that now, being 4 years old. It's a lot of fun watching that. And it's also very frustrating watching that. I don't really have questions from these people. These were asked on a TikTok live on Mars channel, and me and Mars were kind of answering them in the comments. And then we brought up the idea of me doing an episode talking about it and shit like that. But I don't like people that give unsolicited advice. That's not what this is. I think it's very annoying when people do that. I think if somebody tells you they're having a kid, that good luck. Like, dude, that's not, it's supposed to be like a celebration. I would never do that to somebody. If you asked me, you know, is there anything that I wouldn't even do the whole get caught up on your sleep thing. Like, don't like that. And trust me, I went through that. Me and my wife both. My son, like I said, he had food allergies, so he was like getting sick from these things that he was eating and ingesting, and so he's screaming at the top of his lungs. We couldn't really figure it out until we realized like what he was allergic to. So I dealt with the screaming, crying bucket kid. I don't like that the first thing people say is like oh, make sure you're getting your sleep, in a sarcastic way. If you're actually looking out for somebody to say that, for sure. But it's always the first snarky comment. My favorite advice is literally like, nothing I tell you will matter once your son is born or your daughter's born, because you're going to figure things out on your own. You're going to figure out what works for you. I feel like that's like, boom, that's literally, this whole episode could be wrapped up with that right there, because that is quite literally how it was for me. Everything that everybody told me, it was like, oh, sure, you can get like a parenting book, you can get a notebook, you can write all this down, and then it's like, think it's gone. Once you have this human that you're looking over, all that other shit's out the window, like all of it, because it's up to you really to figure out, like, you're molding a person. It's a human being. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not cookie cutter. It's not what worked for this parent will work for this parent, and it's gonna work for the next parent. What worked for me might not work for you. What worked for my wife might not work for you. What worked for us as a house will not work for you probably. Like, that's just, it is what it is. Um, I fucking have to look at every nutritional fucking label on every little thing that I buy, and I've had to do that his pretty much whole life. Like, you might not have to do that. You could probably just buy a loaf of bread. Good for you. I'm happy. Not being sarcastic, because it sucks. It's like today, the ceremony, T-ball ceremony, perfect example. Everybody, coaches, his teammates, all these kids are all getting pizza. He goes, "Oh, can I go get my pizza?" No, buddy, you can't. Unfortunately, it's pizza. It's not we call it a safe pizza. It's not safe pizza, but you're allergic to the stuff in there. That's just not going to happen. But we can be polite. We gave coaches gifts. Give your coaches gift. Thank them for their time, and we'll see them next season, hopefully. And then we come home and give him his safe snack. You know, you get him a fucking popsicle or whatever he can have. Definitely, like I said, but that's just, you might not have that ever. So you can't really give like advice there. And it's just, and that's just a really broad, large example, but it's the same thing for like disciplinary things. What I discipline my son with, you might not be able to discipline your kid with. You know, my son reacts to things being taken away. Like, look, if you're not good, I'm going to take this. Whether that's we were gonna go swimming or not, whether that's if we were gonna, no, I'm not gonna fucking make him bake. We got ACs in the house and shit, you know what I mean? But like, whether it's we're not gonna go swimming, we're not gonna go fishing, you're not gonna go to the park then, buddy. We're just gonna stay home, play toys here. Like, that's what we do. That might not work for you. Yours might be just go sit in the corner, reset 5 minutes, go shut yourself, whether it's corner, timeout chair, bedroom, that might work for you. That's great. My son is way too fucking antsy for that shit. Like, that's gonna agitate him more for me to tell him to sit in one spot and not do anything. He's gonna be like, "What the fuck? What are you talking about?" No, and like that's, I get that. I don't like to sit still. If you're watching the videos of this and you're not just having it play in the background of your car, my hands are fucking moving every time. I'm in this chair. I'm looking over here. I'm looking over there. Like, I also don't like sitting still. I'm always pacing. So I get that 100%. And I'm not going to yell at him for not being this stationary kid that I can't sit somewhere and punish. Definitely don't let the tablet babysit your kid. That's a big one. Screen time is kind of like an award thing. It's something that we wind down with occasionally, but uh, you definitely don't want the tablet to raise your kid. That seems pretty obvious, but there are tablet parents who just tablet here, tablet there. We're at the ballpark, tablet this, and it's like, for me personally, not my thing. Uh, I found that the more we limited screen time, the better things were. So that was definitely a big one. The In that same regard, it sucks that you have to fucking monitor everything. Like, this dude doesn't watch Blippi because I'm sorry if you're a Blippi parent. That dude fucking gives me the creeps. I don't know what it is, but just don't like that guy. I don't. I think he's like a failed edgy guy. That'd be like me, you know, fuck, shitty, fuck, this, that, this fucking podcast, my recordings, the shit that I post online. And then I fucking one day and I'm like, I can just extort kids for money. It's like, hey, folks, what's Chrissy gonna do today? And it's like, no, dude, Chrissy's not gonna go to the fucking playground and play with kids. He's not. I'm sorry. I'm not dressing up and dancing for you because I'm extorting your kid for money. It's super easy. Obviously, it's pretty easy to entertain a kid, but it's just, I don't know if something's morally fucked up with that guy. I think of myself and I'm like, imagine, you know, my history. You're like, okay, so this guy failed MMA. All right. When I say failed, I just mean like I don't do it anymore. And I maybe lost every fight. Failed MMA, failed real estate, comedy, whatever it might be. Podcast. We'll just say I don't do this anymore. You're going down my history, and then you're like, and now he's in suspenders, fucking to my kids. Get the fuck out of here. There's no way. And you're gonna tell me he's not just extorting kids? No, no way. He's absolutely extorting kids. And guess what? That is what I would be doing. That's 100%. You can say that because no shit. My fucking passion wasn't dressing up as a character and entertaining kids on the fucking playground. No, it wasn't. So obviously, if I went down that route and I started making money doing that, that's extortion. So fuck you, Blippy. I'm not doing that shit. Um, Another big thing, we kind of, personally, I underestimated how much space this motherfucker needs for shit. You know, you think of kids and you're like, oh, you always hear parents like, oh, it's sorry, it's a mess, toys everywhere, this, that, and the third. Um, and yeah, that was something I underestimated 100%. I did not take into consideration how much room toys would take up, whether it's big toys, racetracks, little toys. Like, he loves trains, train sets. Like, definitely don't just prep your nursery and then that nursery becomes a big kid's room. Set something aside, a closet, a big closet space in your house if you have an extra room, a corner of your living room dedicated, make your dining room now a playroom. literally do something. It's just going to make your life easier. It's space was such a big thing, and we're lucky now that we have all this out there that's going to be worked on. We're going to have this large play area for him. It's going to be great. And he's had a playroom as well as his bedroom his whole life pretty much anyway. But now we're just kind of enhancing that, making it bigger. And I'm lucky enough to do that. I know not everybody can, but like finances in space, you really underestimate how much a kid costs. Even if you think you know, like, oh, this is gonna be a big finance, times that by fucking 100 because you run into so many weird things. Maybe you don't, but there's a possibility that you do. And then space, definitely space. Like that's fuck advice on like raising the kid because, like I said, that's going to be different. I feel like a universal thing is definitely like be a good parent, but don't lose like yourself in being a parent. Adequate space, adequate money, because that's like that was the shit that you just didn't really you expected some change as far as like you have to. If you don't change who you are as a person, I didn't do a good job in the beginning of his life, and I'll absolutely admit that. And I think I do a way better job now, um, at adapting and whatnot. But I was, first kid, you're just figuring it out. It is what it is. I've talked about that before. I'm definitely a good dad. I would never say I'm a bad dad. Never been a bad dad, but you just get better at it with age. You're growing with them. That stupid like cliche where it's like, your parents were growing up with you. Absolutely, I see that. So definitely, focus on making sure you are a present parent as well as present with yourself as a person and space and money. That's if you had to take anything from this, those are my big three things. Everything else comes with experience. You know, you really can't raise or give advice on how to raise somebody else's kid. So if you happen to pick this up from Mars's stream, or if you're just a new listener here from me, I'm trying to really focus on growing this thing. I'm doing a really like I think I want to do a really big push this summer. I've been at it for over a year, and you notice the changes in the background, the quality, how I present things, even just like little sounds within the clips before the ads, after the like just little things that you might, if you've been a long time listener, you've picked up on. That's because like it's push season. We're gonna try to grow this thing. We gotta just do better. We've done a good job at treating it as a hobby. We're pretty consistent. When we miss weeks, it's because of random things. My mother passed, um, sicknesses, all this random stuff. But for the most part, we're very consistent. Thursday, 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. There's more than likely an episode of Chewing the Rag out there for you to listen to. And we're gonna try to do better with lengthening episodes. Right now, it's a little slow. We've got guests lined up, which is great. Um, I'm off of work for a little bit. I'm gonna try to just bang out like at least 3 episodes next week. Just record them, backlog them, steady, steady, steady. That way I can focus on. Okay, I know for at least 3 weeks we have episodes out there. Fuck yeah, let's just promote now. Let's try to get new guests for future episodes. Let's do all the growth shit. And if you're listening and you made it this far and you enjoy the pod, share it. Just a quick Facebook share, Instagram, word of mouth. If you have people that you think are interesting, or people that, if you're a fan of this band or this comedian or this person and they're accessible, people will send me people that just aren't interested in coming on pods. If you think that they're accessible, streamers, tattoo artists, anything at all, I will talk to anybody. As long as my big thing has always been, do I find them interesting? And chances are I will. I can find anything interesting if, need be. But even just people, just hobbyists. I like people who have a hobby. I like people who are nerds about shit. I'm nerdy in my own right. You know what I mean? So I do. I love that shit. So while I'm trying to grow this, if you are a listener of Chewing the Rag, and I see all the people that share every week, I see that shit. People tag me and shit. I love that. I appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in. We'll probably wrap this up. I am dying. I've been dying since 7 a.m., but Got to get these episodes out there because that is part of this growth process. I'm really looking forward to even just the next month and seeing how things look. And then I'm really looking forward to in a year from now the conversation we're having because it's been fun. I think we're just hitting over the year mark a couple weeks back, maybe a couple months back. So it's been a lot of fun. We're not going anywhere. Let's grow this shit. Chewintherag.com for all your merch and contact information. If you want to come on the pod or you know somebody wants to come on the pod, the Discord link's there. You can hop in the Discord and talk to me. Chewin the Rag Pod at gmail.com for my email. YouTube comment, however the fuck you want to reach out to me. Let's grow this shit. If you are listening because you are becoming a new father and you saw that on the stream and whatnot, congratulations. Or new mother, even new parent, congratulations. I hope I didn't make it sound like it's, it is what it is. It's just something we all figure out, and it is a lot of fun. Congratulations on that. And we will see you next week. Thank you for checking this episode out, guys.